Welcome to Learn Jazz Drums. Today I'm going to talk about making sure that you practice at all dynamic levels, not just medium. Make sure that you practice soft and loud, and I'm going to talk about why that's important. So a lot of times when we practice, it's easy to just practice right at this volume level. Pretty comfortable volume level, not too loud, it's not bothering my neighbors, but it's not also super soft that it's not feeling like I'm playing the drums or something like that. It's just a comfortable volume level. So a lot of times if you're practicing, maybe say you're practicing some coordination exercise, it can be easy to practice it at different tempos, but forget different dynamics. So maybe take something like this. It's going to be pretty obvious to you that you should probably practice that at all tempos. You're not going to have it down at that tempo and suddenly be able to play it 70 beats per minute faster, especially if it's a new thing to you. But it can be very easy to practice it in that context, slow to fast to slow, but all at the same dynamics. So what you want to avoid happening is that you're on a bandstand and suddenly you need to play louder. Maybe you play in a trio all the time and you're playing in a big band and you don't do that as often, and you need to support the band and play louder, but you don't have the chops in that sense. You don't have the ability to play louder and get a good sound still. You have a great sound when you're playing at normal volumes, maybe medium or soft, but when you have to play loud all of a sudden and you haven't been doing it, you need to be able to do that. So you need to practice playing loud. What you want to avoid happening is maybe you're playing really softly, and then all of a sudden you go to play this idea and it sounds like this. Now that's a pretty extreme example, but that kind of thing will happen. If you only practice this at one dynamic, if you go to play it and you're playing really soft overall and you've never practiced that idea soft, it's probably not going to come out soft. The same thing goes the other direction. If you're playing really loud, you want to make sure that if you go to play an idea that you've practiced, it doesn't just drop the energy. Now hopefully you're a good musician with good ears and you could hear that and recognize it within a beat and just stop playing it and realize that it's something you need to practice, but just keep this all in mind. So as I was mentioning, you also need to make sure that you practice everything loud, because getting a big sound when playing loud is harder than most people realize. So I talk about this in one of my other videos where I talk about getting a big sound versus playing loud. So I'm more about getting a big sound on the drums, and it's a big sound that's not harsh or anything, because technically loud just refers to volume level. And so playing a loud rim shot with a terrible touch, it's playing loud, but it's not very inviting, versus playing with a big sound at the same volume level. That's going to be much more inviting for a band, and they're really going to appreciate it. And you can check out that full video in the link up here or in the description below. But whatever you're practicing, let's say it's this comping idea. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that you practice at all volume levels just like I did. So if you're a super structured practicer, maybe you practice something at one tempo and then another tempo and then another tempo, and that's your practice session or something like that. Maybe try doing one tempo, soft, medium, loud, and then the next tempo, soft, medium, loud, and so on. Or you could even do one tempo soft, another tempo soft, another tempo soft, then all three tempos at medium, all three tempos at loud, and so on. You'll figure out how you want to practice it for yourself, But my point is, just make sure that you pay attention to dynamics while you're practicing. And this also goes for soloing, because for the longest time I was playing all of these background music gigs when I was in college. And they would give me a drum solo, and it was a great opportunity for me to practice my soloing and such, but it was a background music gig, the kind of background music gig where people come over to you and ask you to play quieter. Not the favorite gig of any jazz musician, but it's something we do every once in a while, and it pays the bills, and hopefully we get to a point where we don't always have to do those. But when I was first starting out, I would play a lot of these gigs, and I would find that I had a really hard time playing solos quietly, because in my mind, when I would practice solos, I practiced them medium or loud, because I was like, it's a solo, it's a feature on the drums, of course they want to hear it. And I didn't really think about the fact that there's going to be gigs where I need to play it quietly. Or even a gig where there's a listening audience, if it's a crazy live room, or if the musical moment just calls for it, you're going to need to play soft. So make sure that that flashy 6-stroke roll lick that you know, make sure that you can also do it quietly. So in conclusion, as you're practicing all these different tempos, just make sure that you practice all these different dynamics as well. And thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that like button if you appreciated this video, and also hit subscribe because I come out with a brand new video lesson every single week. And you can also visit us at learnjazzdrums.co, where I have a free transcription and a free course that you can get when you sign up for the mailing list. And there's going to be all sorts of new stuff coming out in 2020, and I'm really excited about it. Again, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.